There we go. There we go.
What up, beautiful people?
Hey,
Hello, hello.
let's go. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you. And I don't know, it's step two, step two, step two, step two, step two, step two. Flicky, flicky, flicky. It's been a long time.
That was nice.
Hey, man, that's what I'm here for, bro. Bring the oldies, but the goodies.
That is an oldie but goodie.
I know, right?
That is. That's a jam. Welcome everybody.
Yeah.
To episode 42.
42 episodes in the books.
42. We did not have a Bear Down breakdown this week because
we were sick.
Literally,
not like
and figuratively.
Right. Not like coronavirus sick, but
right.
Sick enough of this team.
Bears sick. We are Chicago Bears sick. But no, this is episode 42. Kind of jumped the gun, like I said, on the week in terms of not having a Bear Down breakdown, which is fine because, you could have listened to any other Bear Down breakdown before, and it would have been the same shit.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
But yeah, so today we have a lot to discuss. We haven't talked Chicago sports in its entirety in a minute. It's been a while. We haven't talked the Bulls. We haven't talked White Sox and what they have done.
oh Lord.
We haven't talked anything. There's not a whole lot going on with the Cubs, Blackhawks. Not a whole lot going on. But we will talk Bears as well today. Just kind of a generalization of the team.
I like that word.
Instead of just going over one game, we're going to kind of hot topic that is Matt Nagy and this Bears offense. And is there a fix to it? Do we just have to ride the terrible train, the Dookie train?
Choo choo.
The poo-poo train.
The poo-poo train.
For the rest of the season, I don't know. We'll discuss it. But anyway, before we get into sports and all that stuff, I'm going to start the episode off how we usually do it, and that's asking my guy Bruce here, how are you doing?
Hey man, I'm good. I'm here. You know, that's the saying for 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like we're here. I'm cool, man. Cool. Just got a lot of stuff going on, but God is good. God is good. I don't have too much to complain about. This sports. What's happening right now in Chicago sports? If you think about it, like outside of the Cubs and the Blackhawks, like it's a lot of stuff that's happening right now with the Bears, the Bulls, and the White Sox. The White Sox are in the news. Ain't that's crazy? That's crazy. And some good things and bad things, but so it's an exciting time for us as podcasters, as Chicago sports podcasters. It's a cool time for us because we get to discuss all these things. But personally, man, it's good. I have no complaints, bro. Like I said, God is good.
God is good.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
It's good. I'm doing good. I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Just surviving.
Facts.
A lot of, like you said, a lot of sports stuff has gone on, but not just that. A lot of non-sports stuff. Obviously, we are preparing to welcome in a new president. So that was.
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, that happened since the last time we recorded an episode.
We got a new president. Wow.
Yeah, new president-elect.
Yeah.
It's been following that. Also been going through some personal stuff. And I'll be, transparent on this podcast because we like to keep it real.
Facts.
But I've been going through something, and I feel like we've talked about it before on this podcast. I think it was the last time actually that we had Eli on, Eli Rodriguez. And I've been going through the transition of going bald.
Oh, oh,
Now,
hello.
I won't show y'all what I look like right now, even though I just shaved my head yesterday. But it has been a process. It has been a process, and you and Eli have been very helpful throughout this
Yeah,
process. I've been,
yeah,
hitting you guys up, asking you guys for tips on how to
yeah.
take care of your scalp when it's
No doubt.
exposed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's something that I've not experienced. But yeah, I mean, I'm not embarrassed to say it. I've accepted my fate, unlike
Okay,
some other people who just keep going farther and farther and farther and
okay.
farther.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Once upon a time, that was me. Once upon a time, that was
I'm
me. I'm
not
not
trying
gonna
to
lie. Yeah.
name any names, but
Okay, okay.
yeah, I mean, I just for the first time, I started using and I sent you a picture. It's like this 3-pronged razor. It's a little handheld thing that you just go over your head, and you just go over a couple times, and then it's shaved.
Right,
I actually
right.
started using a razor, like an actual razor.
Okay.
Said I wasn't going to do it, but I actually started doing it, and it's been treating me pretty well. You,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it feels almost like I feel accomplished after I get out of the shower and I shave my head, knowing that I didn't cut myself up really bad. I mean, there's cuts, but it's done really bad, and then your head just feels so smooth, and you just put some
Right.
lotion on, and okay, pause.
Okay. No, I mean, yeah, yeah. And you know what was crazy is I was kind of getting into it. I was like,
I hope no one jumped into the podcast right at that moment, because
yeah, like what happened to this podcast?
no, but
Smooth heads,
lotioning up your head and feeling smooth.
lotioning up your head.
What is going on?
Okay.
But no, and you don't really, because obviously all the bald people get the jokes, you get made fun of a lot, and you don't really think about how, at least for me, the process of first acknowledging that I'm going bald, that my hairline is
Right.
receding and it's going away,
Right.
and
Right.
two, just accepting the fact of just shaving it off and just being okay with shaving it off and not trying to make it look like, because you know how they have what they call the barber illusion, where they
Yeah.
and some barbers are really good at it, really good at it, and making it look
Facts.
like your hairline isn't really that bad, but it is pretty freaking bad.
Facts. Facts.
So yeah, I mean, I've been going through that, and it's been an interesting process, but
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. Hey man, that's all that matters. That's all that matters, and the fact that you accepted the fact that it was time.
Yeah.
That's important because, like I told you, yeah, I kept pushing it back. And it ended up at the top. My line ended up at the top of my head,
Oh,
and that's
really?
not a good look. Yeah, that's not a good look at all. That's not.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's it it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you accepted it eventually. So,
I did. I
and
did.
I
did.
didn't know you at the time where you weren't fully bald. At least I don't remember that I knew you were not. But
Okay.
so
Well, I mean,
that's all that matters.
it's only been 2 years. So don't I mean, you sitting here acting like I've been bald since I was 13. It's only been 2 years. And here's the thing. Now I've accepted the fact that I'm sexy. I'm sexy bald. That's
Good.
when you come to grips with that, then you good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that. That's a big step. I'm not there yet, but I'll get there. I'll get there. I'll get there.
Oh man, where did we go with
I
this
love
conversation?
podcasts, man. I legit
Yeah.
love talking about whatever the hell we want.
Oh man.
Anyway, yeah, this is Deep Dish in Sports, guys. We're a sports podcast. We don't always talk about
Facts.
going bald.
Right.
but it's a phase of life that is
It is. It is.
kind of important to some people.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah. Definitely.
anyway,
Definitely.
moving on to
Yeah. We
some.
got people in the we got people in the comments like, is this a sports talk radio? Yeah. It is.
Hey,
It is. We
man, we
promise.
talk about whatever the hell we want.
Right.
That, we just keep it real. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about some sports. So,
Let's go.
we're gonna start the show off with a segment that we like to call Pizza Bouquet.
Pizza bouquet.
And
Oh, no. Still
oh,
no song.
oh,
Still no.
I thought
I
you,
didn't have it.
I thought you were
I
gonna
did.
sing it,
Oh no.
but
No.
I
Not
mean
yet.
that's okay. I
Not
laid
yet.
it up there. I
All right.
Chris Pauled it, but
You did.
you
You did. And JaVale McGee did
JaVale McGee did
again.
again. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's all right. Anyway,
All right. Let's go.
so this segment we call it Pizza Bouquet because we essentially give flowers, so to speak, to an athlete that wore the number corresponding with the episode number. So today's episode 42.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pick an athlete that wore the number 42 that some people may have forgotten about, that either is very underrated or they're very good and people forgot about them. But me and Bruce take turns on picking an athlete, and then the other one has to guess based off the
Right.
clues that we give. So last time we did this, you stumped the hell out of me. I could not,
I did.
for the life of me, just had a blank brain that day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'm going to stump you with this one because this is a pretty well known player.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. 42 was a hard one to come up with an underrated player. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that wore 42 were like some of the greatest at their positions, Hall of Famers, like just really, really
Right.
damn good players. So,
Right.
okay, so we're gonna start this off. Pizza Bouquet.
Let's do it.
Giving our flowers to a player who obviously wore 42. He played football.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
played football. He played for 14 years.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, played for a long time.
Okay.
He has won 4 championships.
Wow.
Okay,
Jesus.
he
Okay.
has been to the Pro Bowl 10 times. He's a Hall of Famer. And that's it. That's all I'm going to give you for right now.
Okay. All right. So we got 4-time Pro Bowl.
4-time Super Bowl champ.
I mean Super Bowl. I'm sorry. 10-time Pro Bowler.
Yes.
Wore number 42.
Yes.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
If you tell me offense, well, it's 42, so it's definitely defense.
He was a defensive player. Yes.
Okay. All right. Because that number 42, you don't know too many offensive 42.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who. Ronnie Lott.
Yep.
Let's go.
Good job.
Let's go.
Good job. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You see what T-shirt I got on today, right? That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling real goatish right now. Let's go. Is goatish a word? Maybe
I
not.
think so. Is that a mirror in front of LeBron? Is that
It is, but you see, hold on, let me show you. You see what's in the mirror though? You see the
is that a ram?
A ram. This ain't a biblical story, bro. That's a goat. Don't be disrespectful.
I'm trying to throw shots, but it didn't work.
A ram in the bush.
Anyway, Ronnie Lott, one of the best defensive backs to ever play the game of football.
Facts.
Started off, played most of his career in San Francisco. That's what he's known for. He started off as a cornerback. A lot of people don't know that, but for the first 5 years in the league, he played corner. Played it pretty damn well.
He did.
I mean, he had at least 4 interceptions in 4 out of those first 5 years in San Francisco, but then moved to free safety. And that's when the dude was just a complete ball hawk, because the first year that he played free safety in 1986. He had 10 interceptions that year.
Wow.
10
Wow.
interceptions.
That's crazy.
And if that's not impressive enough, go forward a couple years with the Raiders. His first year with the Raiders, and that year he played strong safety. By this time, he's 32. So this is 1991.
Yeah.
He's 32 years old. A lot of people would consider a safety on the decline at that point. This dude had 8 interceptions that year. So
Jesus.
yeah, he was a monster. He had 63 interceptions for his career,
Man.
which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people on the on all defense type teams they put him at safety, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
It was a monster.
Yeah. Facts. Man, that's a good one, bro. That's a good one.
Good job. Good job. 42
Yeah.
42 was hard. I couldn't I mean, there were a couple of like players that I didn't know, but that I don't know. I was just trying to pick a player that I know you would know, but maybe stump you. But this one was kind of but
you got to kind of understand who you're dealing with too, So
I mean,
it's all good.
That's debatable, but
Okay.
anyway,
All right.
I'm really trying not to give you credit at all.
I see that. You know what? You're doing a great job because we haven't been on the mics for it's been almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get you to give me one, but you hanging on. I see that.
Good job. I'll give you a firm handshake, and then we move on, and then we just
okay. All right.
we just
cool.
walk away. No,
cool.
No making eye contact, no nodding, no anything.
Right.
Anyway, let's move on to some actual sports, some sports news. So
let's do it.
We're going to start it off with the Chicago White Sox. They made some news, even though it was the MLB offseason, but they were looking for a new coach, a new general manager. And they went out and hired Tony LaRussa.
Yeah.
76-year-old former White Sox manager from 1979 to 1986 was when he last managed the White Sox. But he's a 3-time champion, 1 with Oakland, 2 with the Cardinals. He's been to 6 World Series. He has a career winning percentage of .536. He's a 4-time manager of the year. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, the dude has a lot of he has a nice resume, okay? He's accomplished a lot in the league, especially, I mean, if you've been in the league since it was invented, it's bound to happen. You better accomplish something.
You said he's 417 years old. Okay. All right.
I mean, he old as dirt, guys.
Yeah, okay.
76. He could be a lot of y'all's grandparents. But anyway, they hired him. A lot of White Sox fans immediately were angry about it. But then some more news came out after the hiring, after White Sox fans were already disgruntled about the news. And it came out that LaRussa was actually arrested back in February for a DUI. Ended up being that he was charged with this DUI the day before the White Sox announced that they hired this guy as their brand new general manager. He is a known friend of the White Sox owner, Jerry Reinsdorf. And then there were also rumors that came out that Jerry Reinsdorf kind of went over the head of GM Rick Hahn in this move. And Rick Hahn came out during the presser and kind of looked and sounded frustrated, like this wasn't his decision.
Right.
And yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff going on with this move. There's been rumors about him not reaching out to the players as of yet, to some of the star players like Tim Anderson, Eloy Jimenez, to those guys. And yeah, I mean, this is where we're at now.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I mean, I'm not a White Sox fan, but I do follow a lot of White Sox fans on Twitter, and they're irate at this move. Now,
Yeah.
you felt a little differently about it
I did.
when
I
it
did.
happened. Has your stance
Yeah.
changed at all?
Since the DUI, definitely. Definitely, man. Cause come on, man. Like you all knew about this and you still decide to hire this man? Like, what is this? So Tony LaRussa being my manager, right? Let's say I'm a player for the White Sox. Tony LaRussa being my manager, and he want to teach me about responsibility and integrity and character and having character. Dude, you got a DUI. You just got a DUI this year. How you get a DUI during COVID? He got it in February. COVID was, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like lockdown was just kind of like, and you out here, and the crazy part about it, this is his second one. This is his second DUI. He got one in 2007 as well.
Right. Yep.
So like you're my manager, and you trying to teach me the way of the game. And, come on, man. I'm supposed to listen to you. You got a DUI charge. And of course, they trying to let everything play out. Um, the case was filed a day before he was hired, and so, like I said, the White Sox they were aware, they knew about this, and yet you still decided to hire him. Like that's the part that I don't understand. Look, I was cool. And we had our conversations off the air. I was cool with the hire. You bringing in Tony LaRussa. He's a Hall of Fame manager. He got the credentials. Um, like you said, he's been in the league since it was invented. I mean, he got everything. He got the list. So I was cool. He's managed Hall of Famers, Albert Pujols, Mark McGuire. Like he has everything that you will want in a manager. Everybody was tripping on his age. Whatever. I mean, okay, so he'll die in the dugout. Okay, cool. If he going die in the dugout, just make sure Chicago win the World Series, and then you can die right there. But after this, I'm just joking. I don't want that man to die in the dugout. Everybody like, damn, Bruce bogus. Like, what's going on? But it's just like the DUI thing, man. That's just not a good look.
Yeah.
That's just not a good look as an organization that. And here's the thing, like the White Sox, the one thing that makes the White Sox special is their young talent. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that talent needs guidance. And so it's just like how can and I'm not saying like Tony La Russa needs to be like some type of father figure or nothing like that, but at the same time, like, how can you tell me anything when, like, man, you was driving drunk. You too old for that, man.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. It's very weird.
Yeah. I mean, the initial hire before all the stuff came out is it didn't make sense to me, just because of his age. I mean, I understand like some people don't think it's a big deal. I get it, but when you have such a young team, it just didn't make sense to me to have such an old dude who's been away from the game since 2011, I think, something like that.
It's been 9 years since he last managed. But here's the thing: he's been in baseball though. He's been a part of different organizations up until I want to say last year. So he just hasn't managed a team, but he's been a part of the game.
Okay, I mean, sure. See what you're saying, but it's still just
I hate your okay. That was
it still made me do the Nick Young face, like the Nick Young face meme. Like I was just very confused as to how it made sense player wise, but
right.
Then it comes out that, and it was pretty obvious at least to me, watching Rick Hahn's presser for this, that he didn't have a decision in this. Like, this was not at all what he was thinking. Especially when last season ended, the postseason presser, he said that they were going to be looking for a new manager, someone with, fresh ideas, someone young, someone, and then he comes out and says that, oh, there was a change of plans and just all this weird stuff. And you have Rick Hahn, who supposedly is the genius behind all of the young studs that you have on this team.
Right.
He's the genius behind that in terms of the rebuild and all the young prospects that you have on your team that makes your future look so bright. But then he has no say in your GM search. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. And I guess more of this isn't on Tony LaRussa in terms of a manager. I'm not like angry at him. My confusion is at Jerry Reinsdorf and what was he thinking? Like, and this is such a Jerry Reinsdorf move, right? Like,
no doubt, yeah.
If anything, kind of embodies Jerry Reinsdorf as an owner in just one move, it would be this one. Like, just selfish, not really thinking of his players, not thinking of his fans. It didn't surprise me, but it also just kind of blew my mind in terms of you have such a young squad, you have such a arrow pointing forward for your squad, and you finally, after years of being terrible, after years of just going in circles, fans just wanting, for them to get back to that 2005 World Series glory, you finally rebuild a roster that's capable of that. Because they overachieved this year. We weren't even expecting them to get as far as they did. To then go out and do this. That was just a slap in the face to me. Not just to the players, even though they came out and had Tony LaRussa's back and whatever, but to the fans more so, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then here's the crazy part about it, right? Like, we just get news today that Jose Abreu wins MVP. Like you said, they're coming off a great season. Tim Anderson is probably the face of the team. Louis Roberts won a Gold Glove. I think he came in either second or third in the Rookie of the Year voting. You got Eloy Jimenez. You got the studs that's on the pitching staff, and everything is seem like it's trending up for the White Sox, and then this. And I'm not even talking about, and I get where you coming from. I'm not even talking about the manager that's Tony LaRussa, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't. It'll shock me if he forgets how to manage a baseball club, but it's just if you are looking at this as you want to be a team of character and integrity, I'm sorry, man, it's just not a good look. That's just not a good look at all. So we'll see.
For such a young squad, it just definitely not a good look. But the White Sox, it did take them 3 days to come out and publicly respond to this DUI charge. But they came out and pretty much said that they're going to let the legal work do its thing and run its course and then go from there, which that also doesn't make sense to me, because why? I don't know. If I'm them, I just cut ties at this point. Like, your fans were already pissed off at this. Your players, we don't fully know how they felt, but I would imagine some of them weren't super happy about this move.
Right.
And to come out and still have this dude's back, to stay loyal still, after you could cut ways now and then just find a new guy. But I don't know. I don't know what managers are out there still right now. I don't know. I'm not that deep into the baseball, managerial prospects, but it's going to be very interesting to see what Jerry Reinsdorf does. here
Yeah,
on out
yeah, definitely, definitely.
with this White Sox squad. But anyway, um, let's move on to the other team that Jerry Reinsdorf owns, who's also on the up and up, and that's the Chicago Bulls.
Yep,
Because
yep.
we have the draft coming up next week. A couple of days
Let's go.
following after that, free agency starts, and we have a new start to the 2021 season, and that's December 22nd, I think.
Yeah,
Free
yeah.
agency.
Gave LeBron no time to rest, but whatever. Let's go. It's
LeBron
cool.
had plenty of rest before that, so I don't
What?
feel bad. I don't feel bad
Cuz.
for him at all.
Oh,
Anyway,
what? Come on,
yeah,
man.
like 3 months of just sitting at home. I mean, everybody did, but
Stop it.
if
He,
he's the goat, he'll be all right. If
whatever.
he's the goat, he'll be all right. Anyway,
Oh, I thought you said he is
no,
the GOAT. That's
I
what you
said
said?
if. I said if. I mean,
Oh,
he's your
okay.
goat. So
Oh,
since he's your goat, Bruce, he'll be all right.
that's all that matters. That's all, that's all that matters.
There are a bunch of rumors going on right now with this Bull squad, and I want to get your take, Bruce, on some of these
Hmm.
rumors that are out there now. To kind of set the table for this.
Hmm.
So the Bulls obviously have a new regime, right? They went out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
hired AK and Mark Eversley to kind of run the basketball operations for the Chicago Bulls. They went out and hired brand new coach Billy Donovan. So we're looking at we're looking at just a brand new Bulls culture, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Um, so, and then we also got the fourth pick, which is just another cherry on top. That
Yeah.
we because we were predicted to get the seventh pick in the in the lottery, which is what we've got for the past like 9 years straight. But we got top five with the fourth pick. Now, before I get to the rumors, Bruce, you're obviously a college head, and you know a lot of these young prospects coming up in this draft.
Yeah.
If the Bulls were to stay put at number 4, not trade
Hmm.
up, not trade back, who would intrigue you at the number 4 spot?
Oh man, I'm high on Anthony Edwards out of Georgia. Um, I saw this kid. I watched a couple of of his games playing in the SEC, going against Kentucky, you know, Tennessee, those type of teams. And this kid, man, he was the best player in the SEC. He was the best player um, probably in college. And I wish, and that's the one thing that I miss about college basketball was March Madness, because you would have saw this kid, man. He was electric. And I just think, and here's the thing. So I know the Bulls need a playmaker. I get it. They need a point guard that's going to create, but it's just hard to pass up on this type of talent. And I think that with Billy Donovan and his history with guards, this kid would be perfect, man. He'd be perfect. 6'5". Just think, I mean, just he could score on every level from the 3-point line, mid range. He can get to the bucket. He's quick. He's explosive.
Yeah.
And to me, like he's the out of the top. Well, probably just in the draft. To me personally, he could step in now and get you 20.
Mm.
Right now, he could get you 20. And so if someone's like that available, you can never have too many scores on your team. You can never have too many Zach Levines on your team. I don't know how you would make that
You
work.
sure?
Yeah, but I mean, and that's the thing. I don't know how you make that work, but I trust Billy Donovan. I trust him. And if you get a kid like Anthony Edwards, I'm gonna say this. I'll go out on a limb and say this. If you get a kid like Anthony Edwards, I will be okay with trading Zach Levine. That's how confident I am in this kid's game.
Very
So
interesting. Now there are some rumors out there that that the Bulls are interested in trading up in this draft to either number 2 or number 1, because apparently there's a rumor going out there saying that the Bulls are in love, quote unquote, in love with LaMelo Ball. Now, I have watched some videos of some guys trying to break down his tape and say that like I guess he's not a cancer that a lot of people are thinking that he might be, and he's not a Lance Stevenson type player who's going to just be holding the ball for the entire shot clock and chucking up just crazy shots. I saw some people break down some film and try to defend him in that, and I kind of see that. But what are your thoughts on LaMelo Ball? I mean, obviously he didn't play any college ball, but
Right.
what are your thoughts on if the Bulls are in love with this kid?
I mean, oh man, 6'7", a 6'7" point guard. Just from a talent standpoint, like a entertainer, this is the dude that you want. Like if you want to sell tickets, like you want to get you a LaMelo Ball. He has the one thing that I will say about LaMelo Ball is that he has tremendous vision, probably better vision than his brother. And his handles are real nice. His jumper is a little awkward, but I think that's something that that could be worked on in his career. And he's only 19, so he's still developing body wise. He's still going to develop game wise. Here's the thing, man. It's defensively, forget about it. He probably won't learn how to play defense his entire career. But I just think from just pure talent and upside is the key with LaMelo Ball because 6'7", and here's the thing, kid's still growing, man. He's still growing. He'll hit maybe 6'8", 6'9", and with his handles, that could be scary. So, look, man, the Bulls need as much talent as possible. So if they do get LaMelo Ball, I mean, okay, buckle your seatbelts.
Yeah.
Just buckle your seatbelts and get ready. But I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be mad if they get LaMelo Ball either, because like I said, they need the talent. They need to stack as much talent as possible. We're not in a position where we could say, "Oh, I don't want this guy and I don't want that guy." The Bulls lack talent on their team.
Yeah. I was just about to ask you because obviously, if they do want LaMelo Ball, they're going to have to trade up, and if they want to trade up, they're going to have to give up some assets.
Yeah.
Is there anybody on the Bulls right now that are untouchable on draft trades, not just trades in general, trades for a superstar, an all-star, whatever? I'm just talking about a draft day trade to move up in the draft. Are there any untouchables on the Bull squad for you?
No, not at all.
So you would trade Zach LaVine to move up to get LaMelo Ball?
Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to the question. I'm not trading anybody currently on the Bulls roster to move up.
So you think everyone's untouchable? You think you want to trade a player?
Not yeah, because there's no look as talented as these kids are. There's not a Zion Williamson. There's not a Ja Morant happening in this draft. As Anthony Edwards, he's great, but you could. I'm not touching nobody on my current roster to trade to get a Anthony Edwards or a LaMelo Ball or a James Wiseman. Like none, no, not at all, not at all.
Okay. So you wouldn't trade like a Wendell Carter?
No, nope.
Wow. Okay.
Nope. And you know how I feel about this roster. You know how I feel about this Bulls roster. I'm not like in love with this roster, but for this particular draft, no. At 4, you could sit back. You could sit back and let's just see who falls to you, and then you make your move there. But don't trade up.
Would you be cool with them trading back?
No. Stay at 4. Stay at 4. What are you trading back for? To accumulate more picks? No, you don't.
Maybe they can get another first-round pick next year. Get another veteran role player for this year.
No, no, don't do it. Reconsider. Yeah,
All right.
don't do that.
Well, Bruce, the GM, has spoken.
Yeah. Watch how it all plays out. They're gonna trade 6 players on that roster for
I don't know.
LaMelo Ball. Watch
I mean,
how it plays out.
there's also some saying out there that the Bulls have been very quiet in terms of what they want to do. There's been some rumors on the current Bulls players' agents that are kind of like scared because there's no word about how AK and Mark Eversley feel about their players. So the agents are
Right.
kind of like scared in terms of, can my guy get traded on draft night just like this without like in a blink of an eye? So
Right. Right.
that is a
Right.
I would say, is a very nice change compared to the previous regime that
Yeah.
almost every year just kind of was like, all right, nothing's going on, guys. We're just going to draft where we're
Right.
at. No one has to worry about anything. Everyone's good. We're good. And this regime is kind of making it not known in terms of what they want to do, which is nice. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, this LaMelo Ball noise just keeps getting louder and louder.
Yeah, and just a couple of people that's commenting on the Facebook Live, like Sam, who's one of our day ones. He said he makes a good point. He said in the NBA anybody could get 20 points. Facts. That's true. But if you could have 20-point, multiple triple, 4 20-point players on your team, like I said, you just want to get as much talent as possible. So I says no one plays defense in the NBA anymore. That's true too.
And
except for LeBron. Except for LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis, I'll give you that.
Those two.
I'll give you that one. Other one's
Okay.
a big question mark. Anyway, we'll.
All right.
And I was gonna say it's not to take away from this Bulls roster because I think even we said before the start of last year's team that the Bulls have talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have talent. We still don't know the possible ceiling of Kobe White because we didn't really see a whole lot of him. Jim Boylan just wanted him to learn from the bench last year, so we didn't get to see a whole lot of him last year. I think we do have a lot of talent. They just weren't coached well, and that could make a world of a difference. Because you look at some of the teams that made some noise in the playoffs in the bubble this past year, like Denver, Utah. I mean, these are teams that have like 1, maybe 2 really good players, and the rest of them are just role guys. And they were just really well coached basketball teams. So I think we obviously do need a superstar. We do need a franchise-changing player. But outside of that, I think we have a lot of good, talented players that just need to learn how to win. They need to learn how to win basketball games. And I think Billy Donovan can do that. And I think this upcoming season is going to be very interesting to watch. I think it's going to be very exciting to watch. The Bulls have had a lot of rest. They did not go to the bubble, so they've been sitting at their houses for like, I don't even know, what was it, like 6 months, something like that.
It's been a while. It's been a while for them.
So they're going to be rested. They're going to be ready to go. I'm excited to see this Bulls squad. I'm ready. I'm ready for some Bulls basketball to be relevant again in this city. We'll see. We'll see what happens. What?
No,
What are you laughing at?
It's just the fact that it's just like I sit here and I'm just like, you know what, man? They're not gonna trade nobody. And this isn't the old regime. So I'm just like hopeful that they know what they're doing, but it could just be so Chicago bored that they just trade like 4 guys for James Wiseman, and we just sitting here trying to figure out like, well, I guess they see something in them. Like, come on,
Yeah,
I'm nervous. I'm nervous, but like you said, we gotta trust this new
yeah, I'm hoping
regime,
to not
man.
see another Doug McDermott kind of situation.
Yeah. Oh,
We
oh my
traded up
God.
for that
Yeah.
kid, and
And do you know who we gave away? Do you remember who we
yeah,
gave away for Doug McDermott?
um, was it? No, it wasn't. Was it Taj Gibson? Was that a Taj Gibson? No.
No, 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 no. That was Denver Nuggets. We
Oh,
gave
the
away.
Gary Harris. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
and Jokic. We gave away that pick
For,
too.
for
Yeah.
Doug McDermott. All
Well,
right, let's talk about some Bears.
let's
Let's go to the next Chicago team.
go to the next Chicago team that gives us so much hope. Chicago
Oh
Bears,
man.
because
Yeah.
yeah, we rank the Chicago Bears uh, pretty much almost dead last in every single offensive category, um, anywhere from like 29th to 32nd. And there's been a lot of talk going um, on Bears Twitter, on media, whatever, about this offense. And I mean, this is something that we've been talking about all season too. But yeah, this has been the worst Bears offense in quite some time. And yes, I am also referring to those 2017 Bears, those John Fox Bears, the Mike Glennon, Mitch Trubisky rookie year Bears. That offense was better than this one, statistically.
Ooh.
Slightly,
Okay.
slightly
Ugh.
better, not a whole lot better, but they were still better than our offense this year. So it's about as bad as it's gotten for quite some time for the Chicago Bears and their offense. But yeah, I mean, there's been talk going around that Matt Nagy needs to give up play calling duties. Now, the question that I think, at least the debate on Bears Twitter, is it Matt Nagy's play calling duties? Or is it the fact that we just don't have the talent? And me and you have been going back and forth on this for quite some time. And
Right.
I have come to the conclusion, okay? I've come to the conclusion that it is undoubtedly both. Okay? We're
Okay.
both right in
All
this
right.
situation. But here's my thing.
Right.
Here's my thing. When it comes down to execution, and that's something that you've been harping on for the past couple of years, Bruce. Execution.
Right.
Execution isn't always talent. Execution isn't always talent. Just because you're not executing a play well doesn't mean that the players that you have trying to execute the play are not talented. It could very well mean as well that you're just not teaching correctly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because when you
Definitely.
when you
Definitely. When
think
you
of a
put it that
football
way.
play, all 11 guys have to do their job, right? It's almost like a choreographed
Facts.
dance. Everyone,
Okay. I'm a good dancer. Yep.
well, we're going to need to see proof of that here soon.
Oh man. Say less.
But when you're thinking of an offensive play, especially the complicated, cute plays that Matt Nagy likes to run,
Right.
everyone has to do their job. Every single person has to do their job. And there
That's
are
true.
just plays that I've seen broken down that just make it look like these guys just don't know what they're doing. Flat out. Like they just don't know their assignments. They sometimes don't know the play. They just like it's mental errors that's going on in this offense, and that just makes it seem, at least from a bird's eye from where we're looking at it, that it's coaching and not necessarily play calling, because Matt Nagy might have the right play call in terms of what the defense is showing them, but it's just not
Right.
executed. And I look at, man, did you see that game? Who was playing? It was like their fourth string quarterback or something. Was it No, it wasn't Miami. Trying to think, was it Dallas? I don't know. It was one of these teams that were playing their third or fourth quarterback, and they were putting up points. They were actually scoring. It's just a matter of fact that they, whoever their offensive coordinator was, is actually, teaching them these plays. And I saw a tweet by Louis Riddick, a guy that we've been clamoring to be a GM. But he said something along the lines of like, pretty much what I said. Like talent can take you so far, of course, but if you're not teaching these plays how they're supposed to be taught, then it doesn't matter how much talent you have. You can have a Pro Bowl offensive line. They may not execute the play well. So, it comes down to execution. Yeah. But is there a fix in your eyes for this offense this season?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, look, man, you hit it on the head. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this offense. And you know me, I said it's the players. I've said it's the coach. I said it's the talent, the execution, attention to detail. But, like one of our Facebook Live people, Sarashi said, like, what's going to be the excuse next year? Like, we said the same thing last year. We said the same thing the year before last. Like, it's always an excuse for this offense. Like, why can't we get it right?
Yeah.
So I'm just at a point where if it's coaching, if it's quarterback, if it's whoever it is, it's just about time for we have to get this right moving forward. There's a window with this defense that we're wasting. We're wasting, man. And and I talk about this, and I know we're talking about the offense, but I talk about this with the defense is that everybody's like, oh, well, the defense needs to do this. And how can they let up, this play? And I'm just like, man, like, what else do you want this defense to do? They're literally out on the field. I mean, you look up 3 and out. But we expect it's sad when we need the defense to score touchdowns for us. You talked about this. And the reason why 2 years ago was so magical was for the simple fact that the defense was scoring. Like, you take away the touchdowns that the defense had.
We're looking at 2019, pretty much.
We're looking at 2019. We're looking literally 3 straight years of the same thing under Matt Nagy. So now I'm just at a point where it's go time. Like, what do we need to do to fix this? Because I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of the I put blame on everybody. The GM, and we talked about this. I put blame on the GM because he drafted this player or this offensive line. I put blame on Nagy. I put blame on Trubisky. Blame just goes on everybody. Blame goes on me. Because they got me stressed out. I told you that a couple of weeks ago. Like, I had to take a step back, bro. I had to take a step back from this football team because, man, like, these dudes drive me crazy when you keep seeing the same thing week in and week out. And I told you, I said, no disrespect to the Tennessee Titans. They have a great football team, great running back. I love Mike Bravel as a coach. But that defense, that defense wasn't elite. That was not an elite defense. And I know we was facing, I know our offensive line, what they gave us a call to come out and play on the offensive line. Like, they had nobody, and I get that. But you wasn't facing a defense that should have held you to how many points did they score last week? Up until like the last couple of minutes of the game where they, They played prevent. You know what I'm saying? Like that defense shouldn't have done that, man. That defense should not have done that. So I'm just at a point where I look, if that's your suggestion, bro, I'm rolling with it because I don't know what else. I don't know what else what else there is to say moving forward with this offense.
I mean, it just
got me heated.
It's so frustrating.
I'm bothered.
It really is because it's like almost everything that they struggle at just points to coaching because you look at how they are after a bye week. You look at how they are after a half. The Bears have only scored in the third quarter once all season. We scored 7 points coming out of the half all season. You look at some of the plays that have happened after timeouts, after the Bears have called a timeout offensively. And it's just like it points to me, at least, to coaching. Now, Dan Orlovsky he's a former quarterback. He's now like a Twitter, person. He breaks down film. He does all these kind of things. He went off about the Bears and Matt Nagy, and what he said made a lot of sense. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Here, the editing video, Eli will play the actual clip, but I'm just going to play the audio for you guys to listen to.
It's very important for everyone to understand. There's a big difference between being a coach and being a teacher. A coach that cannot teach is a failure. A coach that doesn't know how to build relationships with their players is a failure. A coach that doesn't know how to communicate with their players is a failure. A coach that cannot adapt or change their scheme to the type of talent that they have is a failure. And right now, Matt Nagy in Chicago is a failure. He can't do any of that stuff in Chicago. Stop. This is the offense that you wanted to run. This is the offense that you wanted to run from Kansas City. It's not working. You don't know how to adjust to the talent that you have. I said it all the time on Chicago radio last year. Fit your offense to Mitchell Trubisky. Well, you didn't want to. So you went and got Nick Foles. And now you don't have an offense that will work for Nick Foles. This is like a marriage. When you try to change your spouse to exactly what you want, it's going to end up bad. And you're trying to change all your players to exactly what you want because it's the only thing that you know in Chicago. And now this is headed for divorce. Matt Nagy as a coach in the NFL is a failure because he can't teach.
Interesting.
Bro, that was a sermon preaching right there.
Man, Jesus, I was about to pass the collection plate in a minute. Everybody put your money for Dan Orlovsky.
So much sense.
So much sense. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. That's good. That's good, man.
Trying to make your spouse into something that it's not, so it's not going to work. I mean, that's perfect. But yeah, I mean, it makes so much sense that Matt Nagy for 3 years has been trying to run something that just does not fit the player personnel that is on the team. Now, granted, we're not excusing Ryan Pace because he deserves just as much blame as Matt Nagy because he has completely either neglected this offense year, one of these years, or he just got bad talent like Adam Shaheen. It goes on, like the players that he's brought in, besides obviously Allen Robinson. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like Matt Nagy, his stubbornness is what has kind of encompassed him as a not just head coach, because I do think he's a good head coach. Granted, head coach, offensive coordinator, two different things. I think he's a good head coach, but as an offensive coach, as an offensive coordinator, as a play caller, as an offensive teacher, I just think the dude is so damn stubborn, so damn hard-headed.
Yeah.
That he refuses to be like, okay, I have a really bad offensive line. Let's game plan around that. Okay, I have a statue of a quarterback. who's really good at reading a defense,
Yeah.
but he has absolutely no mobility. Let's game plan around that. Hey, I have a
Right.
really, really, really
Right.
fast wide receiver in Darnell Mooney. Let's run some more plays for him. Hey, I have a really young tight end in Cole Kmet that we just drafted in the second round who is way faster than Jimmy Graham. Let's run those bubble screens with him maybe instead of Jimmy Graham.
Right.
It's just stuff like that I'm just
Yeah.
it really confuses me, boggles my mind,
It's
frustrates me.
frustrating.
We see it week in and week
Yeah.
out. Week
Yeah.
in and week out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got some comments
Lay it
in
on
the people that are watching Facebook is on Facebook Live. Vic, he makes a good point. He said, it all started, when you traded up for that trash QB when Watson was right there. Yep, we've definitely heard that over the years. Samuel said beating Tom Brady and the Bucks might be the last highlight of the year. Oh, I hope not. I hope not. We got a lot of people that agree with the clip you just played as well. And then we got some people that just said LeBron sucks. So that's I understand we talking about football,
No,
but
no. You bring up
okay.
LeBron every chance you can. So those are
They said if Jordan was on the Bears. You know what? I'm not doing this with you all on Facebook Live right now. We're not gonna do this. Oh man, but man, you make a good point. And now we have Minnesota coming into town, and they're hot, and they have the best running back in the league. In my opinion, Dalvin Cook is a monster, and you're gonna have to score points in order to win the game. I don't care. I don't care if it is the Minnesota Vikings that how many games have
they're
Minnesota
3-5.
won? 3 this year. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if Kirk Cousins is their quarterback. Bears offense is gonna have to score points. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
So to segue, that was a nice segue, Bruce. To next week's game or this week's game, Monday Night Football, prime time. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
interesting
God.
because if you would have told me in that Titans game that we held Derrick Henry to the amount of yards that we held him to, I think he had a little over 3 yards per carry, 60-something yards. I mean, he didn't have a good day. If you would have told me that we held him to that and we held the offense to only 17 points, I would have told you that was a Bears dub. I would have been like, yeah, we won that game. They scored 24
Yep.
points because they had that
Yep.
defensive fumble recovery touchdown. But, yeah, I would have told you that we win that game. Of course.
Yeah.
In order to win a football game, duh, Eli, you have to score points, guys. You don't just have to stop people from scoring
Yeah.
points. You can stop someone from scoring points
Right.
the entire game. If you don't score any points, the game ends in a 0-0 tie. So you have to score points, and that is just something that I have absolutely no confidence in the Bears doing. I don't care what team they're going
Yeah.
up against. And listen, this is the part of the schedule that me
Yeah.
and Bruce, we've been saying all year, just looks really easy. We've been this is
Yeah.
where we're going to make the playoffs. This is where we're going to maybe jump ahead of the Packers in the division. Because the only
Oh,
really
man.
tough team that we have to play is the Packers twice. But with
Yep.
how this
Yep.
Bears offense looks, none of these teams, I mean, none of them scare me, but also none of them I can be like, yep, that's a dub. Yep, that's a dub. I can't say
That's
that.
a win.
I just
Exactly. Exactly.
not confident
Yep.
enough to say that with this team, and that's unfortunate. With being that we started
Yeah.
5-1, but
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
we
Now
are,
here we are.
5-4 after being 5-1. I want to ask you this question before we kind of close it off with our ending segment. First question. Well, no, I'm just going to ask you this question. If the Bears have a complete meltdown and miss the playoffs, they end at 8-8 or less, are you thinking of firing Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy, or both of them?
Both gotta go. Both. Yeah, they gotta go, man. They have to go. I'm sorry, bro. And then we back to square one. We back to square one where we gotta wait for a number of years to get the right pick. Yeah, and at that point, I'm gonna just start rooting for the Miami Dolphins. I'm gonna become a Dolphins fan. I'm gonna go buy a dolphin and just have it swim in my backyard. That's what I'm gonna do. Cause I'm tired, man. Look, bro. I'm not getting no younger. I am not getting no younger. So they're gonna have to make some decisions. And I just think that if they, after starting off 5-1, if they end up not making the playoffs with this schedule, I'm done. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm putting up all my Bear stuff. I'll root for the Bears, but I'm not gonna
Okay, so you're saying
gonna be
playoff or
excited
bust
about it.
for both Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace. You have to make the playoffs in order to keep your job next year. That's what you're saying.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt.
Interesting.
Got to.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree because if you don't, here's the thing: if you fire Ryan Pace, you keep Matt Nagy. First off, that's a really weird thing to do, to fire your GM and keep the coach that the GM hired, who's an obvious part of your problem. That doesn't make sense to me. But if you were to do that,
Yeah,
you're now bringing in a new GM. Your coach kind of has the upper hand in that, being that he's been here for 3 years more. And you're expecting Matt Nagy to, again, just kind of change everything and have faith that he'll let go of the stubbornness that he's had for the past 3 years that doesn't look like he'll let go. If you fire Matt Nagy but keep Ryan Pace, you're entrusting Ryan Pace now to completely rehaul this offense, in which he hasn't been able to do. You're entrusting him to draft your next quarterback, because we all agree that we have to draft a quarterback in this draft, right? Like that's a must, right? This year. Okay.
yeah.
So now you're entrusting him, who, by the way, drafted Mitch Trubisky. You're entrusting that guy to draft another potential franchise quarterback. So yeah, I completely agree. If they completely whiff this season, especially with this schedule, you have to fire both of them. Like, you got to clean house at that point, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that just 2 years ago, Matt Nagy won Coach of the Year. That's crazy. How fast
it is.
The NFL just like turns on its head. It just tells you, hey, this might have been a fluke, guys.
Yeah.
This might have been a fluke. And we were preaching for 2 years straight that it was not a fluke. We just had to get back to it. It's frustrating.
Oh, man. Yeah, bro.
Sorry, not to stress you out, Pete, but it sucks.
It's just...
It sucks. Really
it sucks, man. It sucks. I told you I'm going to go buy a dolphin, bro. I'm going to go buy a dolphin.
You know what? And
Become
I'm
a Miami Dolphins
fan.
fan.
And this is a team that you probably would think, what? But I would root for the Arizona Cardinals, because I really like Kyler Murray.
Let's
Even
go.
though I gave that organization some shit for letting go of Josh Rosen so soon and then just going ahead and drafting Kyler Murray. But I like that kid, man. I like that kid a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go buy a Cardinal. Let's go buy a bird and become Cardinal fans.
Arizona Cardinal fans, not the other way around, because I consider myself a Cubs fan. I have the Cubs World Series thing right here. I can't do that. But anyway,
Vic said, "Stop. Okay, that's enough. I'm going to buy animals. Just cut it out. Go buy a zoo, right? B, you got a bingo in your basement? Yeah, I'm a Cincinnati fan now.
By the way, speaking of mascots, what is a Packer? What is a Packer?
Um, I don't know. I don't know, but it's fitting for that team and it's green and yellow. Like,
Yeah,
what's a green and yellow Packer?
very confusing.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
let's end the show how
Oh
we
man,
usually do it, and that's with a segment that we like to call "What You Serving," and it's
what you serving?
it's where we give a shout out to whatever, whoever, wherever we want. That's just kind of how we end the show. We give some love to whatever we want to give love to. So, Bruce, what are you serving this week?
Just the draft is coming up, the NBA draft, and man, that's the one thing where you work hard to get to that level. And I root for these kids, man. These kids going into the NBA draft, the NFL draft, baseball, hockey. I root for those kids, man, because it's not easy. Not everybody gets the opportunity to make it, to the NBA or to the NFL. So with the NBA draft coming up, man, good luck to those kids. I hope they all have successful, healthy careers. Shout out, look, as much as we clown LeVar Ball, that man got 2 kids in the NBA. We'll have 2 kids in the NBA. That's Hey,
Legit.
he did something right. So yeah, so again, man, shout out to all the kids going to that's going to be drafted next year. I'm sorry, next week. Good luck, stay healthy, grind, work hard, perfect your craft. Don't just settle just because you made it to the NBA. Don't just settle. Get better. Try and get better every day. Listen, be humble. If any of these NBA players are listening to the podcast right now, that's just my little
I like that.
encouragement to you. Yeah.
I'm serving up a couple things. One's more like a PSA. The other one's an actual thing. First one, a pistol. Yes,
A pussy.
pistol. First thing
All right.
is shout out to everyone who voted. You guys definitely, obviously made a
Facts.
difference. We had record voting numbers this year, which was crazy. I know that we are going to be transitioning to a new president, but I wore this shirt for a reason, and that's because the fight don't stop. Like, for the fight for equality does not stop just because we have a Democrat running the country, or maybe not running the
Right.
country, but in the Oval Office. So, I would expect the very loyal Trump supporters to come out very loud and clear throughout these past or these next couple months with the transition happening and all that. And I'm not trying to like start a war or anything. I'm just saying like the fight for equality does not stop just because Trump is going to be getting out of the White House. So just want to make that clear. Second thing, want to give a shout out to a video game. Surprise, surprise.
What? Stop it.
One,
You- that's what you do. I was about to cry. I was gonna shed a tear. I was like, we talking about making everybody
Hey,
great
hey.
and unified, and then you're like, hold up.
this video
Now I gotta
game
shout my video
falls
game
in that
out.
line. Okay, I'm not straying too far away from the
Okay,
subject.
all right.
Because the video game that I'm going to be giving a shout
All
out
right.
to is the new Spider-Man Miles Morales, and
Okay.
obviously it's a colored superhero, which a lot of us colored folk. A colored superhero.
Colored.
Yes. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman,
man.
who was the Black Panther. We're obviously not going to be seeing any more Black Panther movies. So this was kind of dope. I mean, they the way they set up, at least the beginning of the game. For those of y'all who don't know, Miles Morales is a half Puerto Rican, half Black kid. His mom is Puerto Rican. His dad is Black. His dad passes away. He was a police officer. So he's kind of being raised at this point by his Puerto Rican mother. And the game starts off in like Christmas. And yes, he's still in New York. I think they're in Brooklyn. And there's a scene in Miles Morales' house, and it's Christmas time. So there's like, man, there's Puerto Rican flags everywhere. Surprise, surprise. For those of y'all who know us Puerto Ricans, we got to have our flags somewhere. But there's flags everywhere. Do you know what a pastele is? It's like a Puerto Rican tamale.
That's like
You eat
a
it during Christmas time. For all the Puerto Rican listeners. You should know that.
I should
but
know
anyway,
that.
there's a literal plate full of pasteles in this video game. It's just crazy to see a video game that's going to be very popular. A lot of people are playing it right now. Bring out the Puerto Rican culture, and I've never seen it before in my life in a video game, a Spider-Man video game, nonetheless. It was really, really, really cool to see. Really dope to see. The fact that my son is watching me play this video game. He's 3 years old, so he loves Spider-Man, of course, just like almost every 3-year-old boy does. But it's really cool to have a superhero that shares his last name and also looks like him. So that's really cool. That's
dope.
That hits me in the feels.
Yeah. I mean, but just can we just go back just a little bit with pasteles? Just say tamale next time. Don't throw me off like that. I mean, because I know what it is. It's just that you caught me off guard.
Tamale, that's like saying Puerto Ricans and Mexicans are the same thing, and they're not, bro. They're not. Just so you know, I'm gonna let that one slide. I'm gonna let that one slide.
No,
I'm gonna let that one slide.
All right,
because it was unknowingly ignorant and disrespectful to the Puerto Rican culture. Okay.
Oh, wow. First of all, you know I'm 1/9 Puerto Rican.
I cannot
anyway. So
I cannot
/ Dominican
pasteles and tamales in the same conversation, because not that one is above the other, not that one.
It was.
I'm just saying, like they're not the same. They're just not the same.
Okay. Shout out to the Spider-Man game. How about that? Let's just end with the shout out.
Shout out to Miles Morales and this game. Anyway, thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. If y'all stuck through all the BS
appreciate y'all.
We just talked about.
Yeah,
we appreciate all the support. If you're not a Patreon supporter, go support. I mean, I know times are rough, but I mean, why not? Just go to our YouTube live video. It's right in the description. You can be a Patreon supporter, or you can pick up some merch, some dope deep dishing merch. It's like a one-time donation, pretty much.
Go get a
hoodie.
Go,
it's hoodie
go get a hoodie.
It's getting chilly outside.
Yeah,
again,
hoodie season.
So go copy you a hoodie. Go copy you a coffee mug, because I mean you can drink coffee out of it. You can also drink hot cocoa and sit around the fire. Put a little marshmallows in it. Okay.
And
watch
Netflix
Chappelle show. Or that.
Or Christmas movies.
That was kind of way opposite end of the spectrum there. But yeah, you can watch Christmas movies. That's cool too. But yeah, just go support. Just go support, because we would appreciate it very much. Yeah.
Facts.
And thank you everyone for listening. Bears play Monday night football, so we'll be coming at you with our Bear Down Breakdown on that Tuesday. And we'll see what happens. See if we're talking about a win or loss. If we lose, I mean, the Chicago is just going to burn. It's going to burn down in Bears colors. It's going to be orange and blue fire.
Yeah.
I
can see that happen.
Anyway, again, thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
Peace.